All right, here we go. Week 8 of distance learning, getting to the end of the school year here. Just a kind of reminder. Just a little reminder that office hours are from 10 to 12 every day. You can come to this Google link or call this number and put this pin in. This is week 8. This is all focused on essentially some of the major elements of the apartheid movement. There are 3 discussions that I'd like you to look at. Just some background information on Nelson Mandela, the National Party, and then really some of the major opposition actions against apartheid, all culminating with this summative right here. So one of the things I just want to point out is that last week, the summative for question 16, that culminates basically what the paper 1 is. And so for those of you coming back next year and who will be taking the exam, this is something we'll go over. One of the big elements you missed out on is the timing part of this. And when you do that 16 question, the focus here is to not spend a lot of time on those first 3 questions. So if you found the first 3 things that we did, so the first 2 kind of summatives where you had to write about the documents and then compare and contrast in the OPVL, if you felt like that was really easy, awesome, because it was supposed to be pretty easy, and they're supposed to be pretty easy when you take the test. Question 16 is the tough one. That's the one you're really doing as a thesis and then an analysis of the sources. And so if your grades were not as high for that, that's kind of to be expected, because that is a harder part of the whole paper 1 experience. This summative, your last one of the year at this point of the coursework, is going to focus on kind of just the extension of some of the information we've looked at. This will be open on Tuesday and available to you all week. It's a Google Doc assignment, so when you open it up for you guys, this Google Doc presentation will show up. It'll become your own. And what you're basically doing is just going through this and answering the questions that are on here, and then finding either visual or written documents that explain this. So we're going to look at Sharpeville. You're going to have a little kind of debate question and using some information that answers it. You're going to look at some of the page numbers and read. And if you look at what's down here, you have a link for that reading, and there's also a website that you can use. But pretty much your goal is to get through and create this presentation. So just kind of answer the questions on the presentation. And then when you're done, it's a Google Doc assignment, so you just hit that little submit button that comes up. So when you get to the submissions, there'll be a little thing up here once you open it, and then you hit submit. And then that'll be it. So it's due Sunday night. This shouldn't be too difficult of a week for kind of the last week before we get into finals. Please check in on Monday the following week, the last week of school, so you know what you have to do for your final. It's not going to be too crazy. It's really just going to be kind of a culmination and going over some of the stuff that we already went through. So again, a reminder, questions, please come to my office hours. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. You're getting ready for the summer, and we'll get all this coronavirus maybe out of here when the heat comes. Other than that, have a wonderful week.